Bitch, I started recording already. That was like that's.
Don't put that in, please. Do not put that in.
Wait, what's up? What's going on? I'm wearing my Million Dog March shirt. I didn't go to the Million Dog March, but I got it from Savers.
Nice. I'm wearing my Angels hoodie.
Big fan of the first letter of the alphabet. Big fan of the first letter of the alphabet.
Oh, you are. Would you?
What?
Yeah. Never mind. Hold on.
No one is going to know where this is going because I don't know where this is going.
Never mind.
Okay. Well. Hello again, my frisky friends. This week, we're taking our saddles and boots to Tennessee.
Okay.
But what might that mean for us? Perhaps a story of witchcraft. Well, stick around with me, your host, Brandon Amore.
And I'm your co-host, Ronni Red.
Welcome back, witchy bitches, to rambling about things I read on Reddit. Depending on how heavily I do the noise gate. Oh, my ankle just cracked. I hope you can hear that. But like, if anyone can hear in the background, there are packing noises. What's that?
What?
Why is that?
Yeah, why is it?
Guys, we're moving. I'm moving.
Brandon is
Big deal. Really exciting. Kind of bittersweet. It's the first time that I'm moving pretty much in my entire life. Aside from moving to college, moving to Boston. Wonky. Also, moving out of my childhood home. I've been here since I was like 6-ish months, 11 months.
Yeah, that's crazy. Kind of bonkers.
What have you been up to this week? What has happened since we've last spoken?
I have so many finals to do.
Wait, how many weeks? 2? 2.5?
2.
Ronni has 2 weeks until he graduates college. Ooh, are you gonna go anywhere fun and special, like, to celebrate?
I've been trying to think, like, where do I want to go?
Also, like, where do you want to eat afterwards?
I know. I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere and, like, I'm like, where's it going to be, like, busy? It's going to be busy all down Commonwealth and, like, Newberry. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to go there. I feel like Alston's going to be pretty packed as well. Because I hope. Yeah, I mean, because, like, maybe we could go somewhere in Cambridge.
Maybe somewhere in Cambridge. Cambridge would be good because it's close enough that it's not, like, too much of a hassle. And if for some reason you can't take the T, you could take an Uber for not too expensive. Especially with that many people going. Being able to split it would be really nice.
Yeah, so I'm like, I feel like I could make that work.
Yeah.
That could be
funsky bunskies. Definitely take them to get some Italian food or something.
I want to take them to East Boston.
Yeah, East Boston would be funsky bunskies.
And my dad can talk.
You're like, I don't want to talk. That's too much. I'll just have my dad do it.
Let my dad do it.
You're like, oh, rusty on my Duolingo. Even though you're like entirely not and fully still have your streak. You're just like, I'm rusty on my Duolingo.
Yeah.
Wait, brag to us again. How long is your streak now? It's been a little bit since we've asked and updated.
731.
731 days straight.
And I still can't speak it. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, from what I've been told, being able to speak comes from speaking, unfortunately. And it works so well to learn how to speak when you learn how to speak with other people. But that's really nerve-wracking.
For someone who loves to yap, I literally still can't speak.
You know, that's okay. That's not within your control. You
So
can
I'm
work
like,
on it. You can work on it. That's all that you can do.
I'm like, maybe the reason why I struggle to speak a different language is because I don't even speak normally
You
in my only native language.
it's fine. That just means that you're really advanced at English, that you can understand the nuanced versions of it.
Oh, I'm so smart, actually.
Yeah, literally the smartest. Anyways, Brainiac, Brainiac, Brainiac. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Brainiac.
No, I know, exactly. Which one do you choose at which given moment? I will say the first version, I mean, the Vivi's version. I don't mean that. The first version, when I said first version, I meant first version mentioned just now. Vivi's Maniac. Gayer. Specifically homosexual. And that's not to exclude other queer communities from that song. I just feel like that song is so weirdly representative of homosexuals in a certain way.
Yes, speak it. Speak that truth.
But Maniac is definitely more of like a pansexual song. Pansexual, very open. It's like it's mask pansexual though.
You could just say it's me.
I mean, yeah, but like, you know, like aside from it being you know, the sounds.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, the sounds. Speaking of sounds, the Bell Witch Cave.
Oh my god, I forgot that we were.
Forgot that we were recording a podcast.
Oh my god. I keep going so off topic today, like in all my classes. Oh my god.
Ooh, my ankle. Bro, it's okay. As long as we get back on topic at some point, somehow, we're winning.
True.
Yeah. So, deep in Tennessee folklore lies the legend of the Bell Witch, a tale that plagued the Bell family in the early 1800s. Farmer John Bell Sr. lived along the Red River near present-day Adams. Between 1817 and 1821, an unseen entity tormented them. This voice, some say, was a shape-shifting spirit that could speak, manipulate their surroundings, and even see the future. It was said to be able to move with impossible speed, even seemingly appearing in multiple places at once. The legend gained traction in 1894 with the publication of Authenticated History of the Bell Witch by newspaper editor Martin V. Ingram. This book, considered the first full account, documented the events and became a cornerstone for future retellings. Interestingly, the people involved were real historical figures. However, modern interpretations of Ingram's work range from elaborate historical fiction to a genuine reflection of 19th century local beliefs. While the original tale doesn't mention it, the 20th century saw the Bell Witch Cave emerge as a site of continued fascination. This, along with modern films and music, has propelled the legend beyond the borders of the southern U.S., keeping the Bell Witch alive in popular culture.
I'm also scared. Who else is a little spooked?
So, revisiting that, shapeshifting. Speak.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Manipulate surroundings. I was told of like rocks being lifted at points. Was told by the internet. And see the future. It like is able to see past, present, and future. Like read people's minds.
No, it can't do that.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Okay, so.
Okay, then I need to go.
Then I need
Shoot, I need to go.
You're just like, wait. Tell me.
Remember when I said I would never go to any of these places? I completely take that back. I would like to go here.
For what reasons?
I would like to see my future.
Your future. What lies ahead?
Yeah.
What does lie ahead? Do we know? No. Does the tape know?
No.
Okay, well, the tape didn't respond, so no. The tape being my mom. Oh, guys, did you hear that? I think that someone's using tape. So, we are back. The haunting begins and Kate emerges. Unease settled over the Bell family farm in 1817 when a string of bizarre occurrences began. John Bell, the patriarch, the patriarchy, John Bell, the patriarch, witnessed a horrifying sight, a creature resembling a dog with a rabbit head. Wait, see, now that I'm like trying to visualize it, that's a little funnier than it. Although I will say, like...
Wait. Can you read that back one more time for me, please, actually?
John Bell, the father, slash husband, witnessed a horrifying sight, a creature resembling a dog with a rabbit head.
Okay.
Why did you take a second to process that?
For a really, really pathetic reason.
Tell me. Tell us. Tell the listeners.
So it was just, thinking about 21 Pilots.
You're not real. Yes, you are, but no, you're not.
I don't need to say anymore. We're gonna leave it there.
Okay.
Continue.
Terrified, he fired his gun, but the apparition vanished without a trace. This was not an isolated event. I like that you started looking behind you and like you just look so like visibly distressed. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to like put you through this.
That's okay. Keep going.
Oh, okay. You're just like, if you do it faster, then maybe I won't get as scared.
Yeah.
John's son, Drew, encountered a massive bird, unlike any he'd ever seen. While
John's son?
John's son? Johnson? John's son? John's
a family
son?
Company?
While their daughter Betsy swore she saw a spectral girl in a green dress swinging from a tree branch. I'll repeat that because we got like we cut it off in the middle. Do you not know what that means?
No, I know what that means, but just like love the verbiage here.
Oh yes.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yes. So Drew encountered a massive bird, and Betsy saw a ghosty girl swinging from a tree branch. Honestly, jealous of her because I've always wanted a tree swing. Tree swings are the best. Even Dean, a slave belonging to the Bells, wasn't spared. He reported being stalked by a large black dog on his nightly visits to see his wife.
No.
I hate that, given it was entirely likely that because Dean was a slave, he was just being trailed by police dogs of sorts at the time.
Maybe, but also, what the freak?
Inevitably, being followed by a very large dog on the way home, terrifying.
No, for real, like, this is exactly why I'm saying, like, I'm gonna be getting chihuahuas until the day that I die. Like, I love little dogs. Like, little dogs are where my heart belongs. Like, I love them so much.
The new neighbors have a golden retriever. And the golden retriever really likes to come over.
I know. Okay, so I'm gonna be there.
Oh! It's because of Hybe and Adore. Hybe and Adore. I hope No Jeans is okay. I just really want to be able to continue enjoying what they're doing, and I want them to continue to have successful careers, and I'm just proud of them.
Real.
I hope they continue doing well and do what they can to get out of this controversy, because it's not their fault. They keep on getting dragged into things and it's not their fault. It's literally just because of other reasons that I'm not going to bring up because it's ongoing and being released on the internet. So We don't know how true anything is, but I also just want them to do well because they're young, and we know how horribly horrible the idol industry can be on these young girls. So, the strangeness soon infiltrated their home. Unexplained knocking echoed through the house, and wall-cracking pounds berated the doors with an unsettling rhythm.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's like things were trying to kick the doors in.
No, like okay, it's crazy. The adjectives that you use, I'm like terrified right now.
Bitch, best believe I was on Rhyme Zone and every thesaurus website that you could think.
Oh, I know you were. And the thing is, it worked because I'm spooked.
No, yeah, because this one took me so many more days to write.
Like
than usual.
Dog, I'm like imagining it in my brain right now and I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared right now.
Sleep became a nightmare, filled with the sounds and vibrations of scratching and scraping on the bed frames. Invisible dogs snarling viciously around the room, and heavy chains dragging across the floorboards. Ruined it at the end. Floorboards. John Bell's health took a turn for the worse.
No, it gets worse.
And a strange paralysis gripped his mouth, making speech difficult.
Oh my god. I'm gonna like throw up.
Drinks water, you're like, hold on. I need to hydrate myself.
Guys, who else is scared? Guys, who else is fucking terrified right now? Oh, I'm like scared right now. Okay.
You like keep turning behind you. You're like not changing the colors of the lights. You're like, I need it to be bright in here.
I'm like scared.
You turn on more lights. Except don't turn on the overhead light because we hate overhead lights.
I might tonight.
Just as the family began to grapple with the inexplicable phenomena, the entity's torment got even worse. Sheets were violently yanked from the beds of the children while they slept.
The way I'm imagining it is like in Scary Movie. And so that just made it a lot funnier.
Speaking of Scary Movie, Yuchi from G Idol, did you see the videos that she's been posting on her TikTok?
Oh, no, I thought you were gonna mention the lookalike that they had stand in for her at that one performance.
Oh, the lookalike was eating in that video though.
Like, honestly, served.
No, but like Yuchi's recent release single, it's not a single, it's a I think it's an EP, but her video references Scary Movie and the little kid scene.
Oh,
the little kid scene where he's speaking fake Japanese. She has that in her. Like, she dressed up.
I sent someone to the group chat.
Yeah, I
think it was crazy. I was like, LOL.
I love her. There's a reason she's my bias.
Kind of real for that. She like was.
I need to get photo cards. Anyways, I need to get back to this as well because I have so much written. The unseen presence continued and resorted to physical attacks. It pulled their hair, scratched them, and Betsy took a lot of this rage. Was like the little poor girl was just there on the receiving end of all of it. She was constantly slapped, pinched, and stabbed with small pins. And so she was bruised very often, and she was bleeding a lot too. Like, you would just see like tiny pricks all over her.
No.
During this time, according to Martin V. Ingram's book, An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch, the entity itself identified as Old Kate Batts.
Katy Perry?
Katy Perry, otherwise known as Old Kate Batts, the Bell Witch, and later responded favorably to the name Kate. This unsettling revelation would become a chilling constant in the Bell family residence.
Awesome.
Desperate for help, the Bells turned to a close family friend, James Johnston. Johnston stayed at the Bell home, and Johnston was jolted awake. Johnston and Johnson.
Johnson and Johnston.
And Johnston was jolted awake by the same unexplainable phenomena that plagued the family. Shaken, he confided in John Bell the next morning and said that it was a spirit, just like in the Bible. News of the haunting was spread like wildfire, drawing curious visitors from far and wide, eager to witness the witch firsthand.
What?
The entity itself began to speak more openly. In a raspy voice, it responded to the question, "Who are you and what do you want?" with a weak plea. "I am a spirit. I was once very happy but have been disturbed." And if you wanted me to do the voice, like,
I'm not gonna do that. Nope.
The spirit's explanations for its presence were often contradictory. At times, it blamed the disturbance of a Native American burial ground on the Bell property, but that was apparently a lie. It was just trying to throw them in all sorts of directions, which even worse because disrespectful spirit too.
Yeah.
Like really disrespectful spirit. As the hauntings escalated, the spirit progressed to full conversations. It even managed to recite word for word 2 separate sermons delivered by different ministers 13 miles apart at the same time.
Okay.
The entity seemed well versed in religious scripture and reveled in theological debates. It also displayed a mischievous streak, gossiping about happenings in other households and even disappearing briefly, supposedly visiting these homes after inquiries from the Bells.
I hate that.
So the family became cursed too, to the point that wherever they would go, it would just it would also explore.
I don't like that.
John Bell's desperation for answers led James Johnston's son, also named James, to devise... Wait, so James Johnston's son was named James? We got John Bell.
We got Johnson, Johnston, and Johnston's son. It's crazy.
James Johnston's son, James Johnston. To devise a cunning test. He asked the entity a question no outsider could possibly know. What would his Dutch step-grandmother back in North Carolina, say to the slaves if she thought they were misbehaving? In a perfect imitation of his grandmother's accent, the witch replied, "Hut tut, what has happened now?" Why does she know that? Why does it know that? What are the okays for?
Because I'm scared for my life right now.
You're just like, damn.
I'm terrified.
You're like, I'm ready to have fun, and now I'm just like scared.
Guys, I'm literally gonna just like sleep with every light on, playing everything that I possibly can in the background. There's gonna be 0 thoughts that are going to be formed tonight.
So, yeah, as you were experiencing, everyone was completely like speechless. Another instance involved a skeptical Englishman visiting the Bells. He mentioned his family overseas, and the very next morning, the witch woke him with a start. It was mimicking his parents' English accents perfectly, which is really funny because now I just imagine it's like you just wake up to like disembodied voices and it's just like, "What are you doing?
Wake up, come on, it's the morning, you already late."
And the entity relayed their worried voices. They had somehow heard his voice too. So wherever they were, they also heard his voice when he was hearing their voices through like the spirit.
Why do I feel like crying?
So the Englishman left in the morning really fast and wrote an apology about how he left so fast, and also that he was very sorry for being skeptical of them. And he said that it followed him back to England and tormented him and his family there for a bit. Despite its often malicious behavior, the spirit wasn't entirely malevolent, seemingly. It displayed a strange fondness for John Bell's wife, Lucy, who it referred to as the most perfect woman to walk the earth.
Okay.
There's some
like serve, I guess.
This is like I mean that's either nice or that's like a Reddit compliment in a scary way. You know?
It's like kind of silly. It's kind of perf.
But at the same time, at least the wife is preferred, you know?
No, yeah.
We used patriarchy to describe it earlier, and the witch was angry about that.
Yeah.
She wanted to change it.
She said feminism. Where my girls at?
No, for real. The witch would mysteriously leave fresh fruit for Lucy and even serenade her with songs at times.
Wait, hold on.
Like you just had like...
Wait, why would I fall in love though?
Like walking soundtrack, leaving out fruits for you, like fresh fruits.
Like stop. I'm like, are you flirting with me?
I'm like, what? Are we gonna do pottery next?
like...
Turn
just
on that
ask
kiln.
me out. You just say the word. Like, just say the word. Like...
John Bell Jr. also seemed to receive quite a bit of
jealous.
respect too. No, John Bell Jr.
Oh, okay.
John's son. John's son, John.
But I'm saying John's probably jealous.
Yes. Because everyone is receiving respect, apparently. Except for him.
Except for him.
So...
That's kind of honestly real. Like, that kind of... real.
Yeah, so the entity's torment focused mostly on John Bell Sr. It called him Old Jack. Through vicious curses, threats, and a series of unexplained illnesses, the witch made its intentions abundantly clear. John Bell would die. The story reaches a horrifying climax when the patriarch is inexplicably poisoned. Even in death, the Bell family couldn't escape the witch's cruelty. As mourners gathered, the entity's disembodied voice shattered the solemn mood with drinking songs.
They're just playing drinking games. Real. Hold on. Give me
Drinking
in
songs.
there.
You just hear like they're at the funeral. You just hear like disembodied voices around. You just start singing Bad Bunny. And you're just like, wait, why am I in the mood for some shots right now?
I'm like, wait, hold on, guys. No one told me that we were getting litty today. I would have eaten more. Like, dang.
Oh no, there's like food on the sides during the funeral, so that you can like. In 1821, the witch's influence reached beyond physical harm. It pressured Betsy Bell to break off her engagement with Joshua Gardner. With a chilling promise, the entity then announced its departure, but with a sinister caveat: it would return in 7 years, 1828. True to its word, the witch reappeared to Lucy and her sons Richard and Joel. The torment began anew, but this time the family refused to be moved. Goodness, I was like, who wrote this?
I
wonder.
Maybe.
They offered no fear or encouragement, and the entity seemed to lose interest, eventually fading away once more. So it seems that acknowledging it in any form gives it power. Maybe I shouldn't have written this.
Right.
Because realistically, I am just expanding the knowledge of it, letting more people know about it. You're just like, why are you telling me this? Like,
I'm like, okay,
I never
guys,
heard
so
any of what you just like.
So actually, guys, we're going to end the podcast there. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can find me on Instagram.
So the Bell Witch, like whispers of the Bell Witch spread far and wide, and even Andrew Jackson reportedly showed interest. So he sent men
He showed interest. What is he gonna do? Propose? Like what?
No, he was interested in the property that the Bell Witch was most prominent on. So he wanted to investigate. So him and his men investigated, and they were immediately too scared and ran.
Oh, see, like,
I believe their wagons stopped working.
I like imagine like a cartoon run, like in like Looney Tunes.
Well, I mean, they were being pulled in a horse carriage, and all of a sudden, like, the horse couldn't pull it anymore, and it seemed like the wheels were just frozen in time and space, and they couldn't move them from their position, and they were thrown off the cart as well.
I see.
I heard voices as well throughout saying that they were not welcome there. So, I mean, they listened.
They said, "Okay."
They knew their place.
They said, "All right, TTYLXOX." Like,
so
that's crazy.
This account painted the witch as a vengeful spirit of a cruel overseer murdered by John Bell himself. In this chilling take, the spirit falls in love with a woman named Mary, leading to her demise, a detail eerily reminiscent of vampire legends. The Bell Witch's powers also drew comparisons to the mythical jinn, known for their otherworldly abilities.
Are we getting a Twilight crossover?
I mean, I guess.
Guys, oh, this is literally so Twilight.
The carriage was stopped in its tracks, just like Edward.
Just like Edward saved Bella. Mm-hmm.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
In the manuscript attributed to... Also, this part is a quote from... a quote from a manuscript that was quoted from Wikipedia.
Okay.
In the manuscript attributed to Richard Williams Bell, he wrote that the spirit remained a mystery. Whether it was witchery, such as afflicted people in past centuries and the darker ages, whether some gifted fiend of hellish nature practicing sorcery for selfish enjoyment, or some more modern science akin to that of mesmerism, or some hobgoblin native to the wilds of the country, or a disembodied soul shut out from heaven, or an evil spirit like those Paul drove out of the man into the swine, setting them mad, or a demon let loose from hell. I am unable to decide, nor has anyone yet divined its nature or cause for appearing, and I trust with this description of the monster in all forms and shapes, and of many tongues, will lead experts who may come with a wiser generation to a correct conclusion and satisfactory explanation. Williams Bell, An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch. Well, honestly, that was a whole lot of nothing.
For real. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Bro, just be yapping. Like,
no, like, all he had to say was that it can speak in many tongues. It can shapeshift, and it can be in multiple places at once. And it looks scary, and it's probably something from hell. Literally could have given us a bullet point list.
But instead it sounds like when they were interviewing him, they're like, "What do you think it could be?" And he was like, "Well, it could be this or this or
in
this."
1820,
and then he just lost his train of thought, and then he's like, "Or it could be this, or it could be this." You know what? Now that I think about it, it might also be this.
He typed all of his questions into ChatGPT and then wrote out all of the responses in 1820.
No, yeah, like literally, I'm like, bro, what did you just say? Like, what?
So in 1820, while participating in the Stephen Harriman Long Expedition, Captain Bell kept a travel journal. During his return trip, he stopped for dinner at the Murphy residence in Robertson County, Tennessee, right by the Bell family farm. This event becomes intriguing due to what was found in his journal. Captain Bell was informed of something strange happening involving a young woman who lived nearby. The woman was apparently accompanied by a voice that urged her to marry a local man. This spectacle had attracted a lot of visitors, and estimated these visitors were estimated to come in the thousands, all eager to witness the voice, like, for themselves. And the journal describes the voice as seen responding to inquiries, though it left most listeners confused. And I have a picture of the Bell Witch that I'm going to send to you.
Oh, Brandon!
I honestly think that you will think it's really funny.
Brandon, I'm like scared right now. Brandon, I'm terrified. Brandon Nicholas, like, I'm actually so scared right now.
Oh, bro, it didn't send.
That's a sign. That's a sign.
Wait, hold on. Oh, it's because I didn't copy the right thing. I accidentally copied an empty space.
Oh, Brandon.
Wait. This is like the Sam and Colby video. Some of their pictures weren't working.
Hold on. Yeah. That's a sign.
You're like so nervous right now. It was
did you watch the Sam and Colby video about this? Because I feel like I watched that video. And I think I was like...
You will see. An artist drawing of Betsy Bell. It was just an artist drawing. I saved it mostly because I thought it looked really funny. Like, it's like the least scary picture ever.
Because my messages aren't loading.
No. Like, the pictures fully weren't sending.
Oh. Okay.
It would let me copy the image and I would paste it, and it would let me see the image in the chat. And as I was trying to send it, nothing would send.
That's a sign.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. I'm kidding. I'm just gonna continue. So a curious episode in Springfield, Tennessee.
I'm like getting hot.
On a tranquil April evening in 1880, an unsettling occurrence began to unfold.
Great.
So, the Knuckles residence, not Knuckles, it's Nuckolls. Knuckles. The Knuckles residence recently.
I just love Knuckles, the character.
It's the red guy that punches with the spiky white gloves.
He kind of me.
Recently established by Dr. John W. Knuckles and his new bride, Laura Hopkins. Oh, Laura Hopkins Jones. This became the epicenter of a lot of scary things. A lot of knocking started happening from underneath the floorboards of the house.
Okay.
So the sounds first started manifesting on April 24th, commencing at 10:30 p.m. and persisting for a grueling 6 hours. So a few of the residents, estimated at maybe like 10, 12 people, were around the Knuckles home, and they determined to unravel the source of the... Oh, they were determined to unravel the source of the... So over the next 4 nights, the nightly knocking under the floor continued. And a lot of people started to, like, they wanted to, like, hear it and witness it. They would come around at night because they were like, wait, you can't be telling the truth about this. This has to be a lie. So, like, hundreds and hundreds of people from the area started to come and travel. Well, from nearby areas, too. Like, they started to come and travel to try and see this. And it kind of became a sort of attraction for a bit. And amidst this sort of frenzy, local journalists couldn't help but draw parallels to the Bell Witch the Bell Witch legend that happened in Robertson County earlier. Articles published on April 26th documented the commotion, highlighting the uncanny resemblance to the Bell Witch's reported activities, and the widespread public fascination had grown even more. So one report even said, about 30 years ago, Robertson County had a sensation similar to this known as the Bell Witch. And people came from all parts of the country, even as far as New York, to hear or see her. The mystery took a dramatic turn when the focus shifted from the supernatural to the domestic. The seemingly harmonious union between Dr. Knuckles and Laura had become strained because of the knocking. So a local carpenter, Jill Walling, fueled the domestic turmoil by accusing Laura of orchestrating the entire charade. He alleged, please, I thought Jill was a lady. Hold on. He alleged that the unsettling sounds came from an iron ball that was attached to her rubber belt, cleverly, hidden right underneath her dress. So historian Yolanda Reed delves into the complexities of the situation, and saying that they eventually did come to the conclusion that the wife did tie something to the bottom of her skirt to make the sounds. Oh, never mind. No, I read that quote wrong. They came to the conclusion that no one ever proved it.
Okay.
So no one really knows whether or not that was true or not, but the accusation in general kind of blew up the couple's relationship, and by May of 1880, they had separated, and yeah, everyone was just kind of on their asses about it, because they were really famous because of the stuff that was happening at the place. Oh yes, the following months witnessed a tragic escalation of events. John Knuckles, desperate to see his young child, reportedly engaged in a public confrontation with his wife's father, Asa Hopkins, in August of that year. The encounter turned violent, with John threatening his father-in-law's life. An eyewitness said that the altercation even touched upon the subject of ghosts, adding another layer of intrigue to the already bizarre series of events. So John was restrained before discharging his firearm, but the incident left a scar on the father.
Jesus.
So the following day, in February of 1882, S.B. Hopkins, Laura's brother-in-law, came from Nashville and shot John Knuckles with a double-barreled shotgun.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, and S.B. Hopkins was eventually acquitted for that murder.
Okay. Interesting.
In 1919, Tom Pete Cross referenced the incident in his study of North Carolina witchcraft, citing a Nashville Banner column that documented a reporter named John C. Cook being dispatched to Robertson County in the 1880s to investigate the Bell Witch. Nothing really came of it.
Interesting.
So John Bell's death in 1820 was very interesting. So a lot of accounts were from very different, from various sources about his death. So a lot of people aren't entirely sure about it, but people like to stick to one story from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
A very prominent account attributed to F.R. Miles was published in 1880 in a sketch of Robertson County, suggests that a potential link between the disturbances and skeletal remains. I was taking notes too fast, given I also finished this earlier today. But yeah, okay, so they took out they found bones on the property, took them out, and taking them out pissed them off. The source of this claims the entity itself identified these unearthed bones as the source of its agitation. So the spirit just told them. It just disembodied voice screamed at them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Basically.
That sounds like a great time. That sounds so awesome.
Yes, and they reburied the bones and the spirit was still angry with them. So,
Okay.
yes, and it could speak in multiple languages. But the interesting thing
Okay.
about this witch,
Polyglot.
no, literally polyglot. But the confusing thing about this is that there's a lot of really, really, really contradictory things. But that's not just because of like separate stories from different people. It's because the communications with the witch seem to be really, really inconsistent in the sense that like if you were to ask it a question, it would respond yes and no at the same time, or like you would ask just something general and all of the responses would be something like maybe, or like it would tell you something like it was a fact. This happened because this was a Native American burial ground. No, it wasn't.
Yeah. They just like to lie.
Yeah. Which is like honestly kind of drag. That's kind of that's SZA. Like that's the Bell Witch is just the cover art for SZA. Like this is SZA, the Spotify playlist.
At the end of the day, the Bell Witch is just a girl. Like,
No, because like why is she kind of a girl's girl? Like just a little bit though.
she's just a girl.
Yeah, like pulling the sheets and scaring people a bit. That's just like what if like
Having fun.
she's
God.
having fun,
Can't have
and also
hobbies.
she's allowed to get mad because no one complains this much about stuff when a man does it. Exactly.
talk about it.
Anyways, so a contrasting narrative popularized by M.V. Ingram's book and attributed to Richard Williams Bell seems to have a more sinister version of all of this. So here John Bell is already suffering from an unknown illness when a vial of poison is discovered in the cupboard following his death. The Bell Witch readily claims responsibility for placing the poison, intending for it to be administered through the family meals. So it's like, hey, I was poisoning him this entire time, by the way.
Okay. So that's awesome.
And this account details the rapid death of also the family cat upon ingesting the same.
What?
Oh, okay, no. This is fucked up because the family tested the poison on the family cat, and that's why the family cat died. So maybe the family deserved this.
Okay, yeah, you know what? They deserve that. Bro, they deserve that.
The Centennial Sketch offers a fantastical description of the entity. They were like, it's capable of shapeshifting into various animals and boasting multiple names: Three Waters, Tenabrity, and Black Dog. This detail aligns somewhat with Ingram's account, which mentions a witch family with names like Black Dog and Mathematics.
Okay, y'all are fucked up for that one.
Who names someone Mathematics? That's so mean. That's
At
bullying.
this point, like, I don't feel bad for them anymore. Like, I stopped feeling bad for them. Like,
You know, like they have every right to be mad. Let them
like,
throw tantrums
honestly,
right
like,
now.
For real.
They deserve this. Like this is for them. Truly.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is a little bit about legends in the 20th century continued. So news reports and personal accounts, while often conflicting, help us to understand that there's a lot of interest in like these supernatural events, and that the more that people talk about it, the more this interest like continues to grow, the more it seems to kind of like promote noticing and feeling the activity. But at the same time, when people do go there, like they really do experience very severe activity from what we have seen and what has been recorded. So it's very scary because it's like, are people making it up because they experience it a lot, or they're hearing, or are people making it up because they hear about it a lot and are expecting certain things? But is it also absolutely terrifying?
Yeah.
And so local newspapers were still skeptical, and they dismissed rumors and highlighted the lack of concern amongst residents. So Charles Bailey Bell, a descendant of John Bell Jr., published a book in 1934 called The Bell Witch, A Mysterious Spirit. and it included stories passed down through his family, including anecdotes about Andrew Jackson's visit and encounters with the Bell Witch Cave. Notably, the book detailed prophecies supposedly delivered by the spirit in 1828, predicting its return in 1935. The year was 1937, and people actually did witness more. But honestly, why did she lie? Why did she lie? She was like, I'm gonna come back in 1935. Comes back in 1937.
She said, "Gotcha, gotcha." She said, "I wanted to play a little trick," and I was like, she said, "I really wanted to put a prank on you guys, but actually, I got really, really caught up in traffic. Traffic was really bad coming back.
She just slept in a little too late."
She's like, "Sorry guys, my alarm went off, but
I
silly
need
me,
to let you know, have you found out about that the new Apple update thing that silences your alarms, attention aware?
No.
You need to turn that off. The new update has been silencing everyone's alarms recently. That's why no one's been able to wake up to their alarms.
Dude, that makes so much sense.
After this, you're going to have to go on TikTok and just look up Apple ambient aware feature. It's something about that, but it fixes your alarm. I turned it off. My alarm works. I wake up. It makes the sound.
Okay.
I was just like, something's wrong with me. Like, I'm just not able to wake up anymore. What is going on? Like, this is embarrassing. No,
for real.
No, it's literally just because the phone, if it can tell that you're not paying attention, it silences. Because you know that, like, you'll pick up your phone and there's an alarm, right? But your phone's not vibrating or making any sounds, and then it's just showing the number on the screen. That's it. That's what was causing it. It was the Bell Witch.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. I'm already freaking out, dude. I'm like sweating right now, dude. I'm fucking warm. I'm freaking out.
So the legend's reach extended beyond personal experiences, finding its way into media coverage. In 1965, a newspaper article reported on an antique rocking chair linked to the Bell family. According to the story, a customer who sat in the chair later discovered a valuable buckle after visiting the Bell cemetery, prompting speculation of a supernatural connection. Stories about the Bell Witch even permeated local social circles, and attorney Charles Romaine Willett was also a descendant of the Bell family, and he never married his sweetheart due to a family legend warning against uniting the Bell and Gardner families. However, this rumor was later attributed to family obligations rather than supernatural intervention. Well, the thing is, like, I understand that it's family obligations, but the family obligations were there because the Bell Witch told them not to do that.
No, yeah.
It's like, if it's gonna prophesize, I don't want to rebel because I don't want it to come back sooner.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want it to visit in the first place, but if it was gonna visit, I would want the visits to be very, very, very far apart. So I'm gonna listen.
No, yeah.
Like,
I am right there with you, babes.
Yes. So there were some personal accounts that started to come out. A woman said that when she was younger in 1944, she went to explore the Bell Witch Cave by herself.
Girl.
And she only had a lantern.
Girl.
And it was like it was like the windproof type of lantern. So there's nothing that should have put it out. But it went out. Anyways.
Okay. I could have told you that was going to happen.
But she said that the witch guided her away from escaped fugitives who were hiding in the caves that were later discovered by authorities.
Bruh, that's crazy.
So the witch is a girl's girl. The witch is kind of a girl's girl.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, like leaving out fresh fruits for the wifey and then saving her from fugitives when her lantern mysteriously goes out.
Loves her girls, and that's fine. That's like slay. Like,
literally blew the lantern out just to establish, it's like, hey, I am the power dynamic in this relationship. This is the power dynamic. I am the power dynamic. Anyways, these scary people are here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Not the worst. At least not for her. Sightings and strange occurrences continued happening, and soldiers stationed at Fort Campbell allegedly encountered an invisible entity inside the cave. Like, people need to stop fucking with this cave, dude.
Dude, for real, leave it alone.
In 1986, journalists spent a night in the cave, and they documented a lot of noises.
No.
Yes. But their investigation was mostly debunked because there were already some electronic devices in there and some airplane noises outside that could have reverberated throughout the cave. And also just animals, because caves are ecosystems as well, so...
Yeah, so, like, duh.
Yeah, so you're gonna hear some stuff. In 1987, an account from a gas station owner says that he claimed to be chased by a talking rabbit near the Bell Witch Cave.
Bruh. What the heck? What?
Yeah. So now we must ramble with the Redditors.
Okay.
Who just so happened to be Sam and Colby. Once again. Like, sorry, they write and document really good. Like, they do really good coverage of paranormal stuff. So it's like, sorry, I'm gonna come back.
No,
Are we
yeah,
ready?
real.
Are we ready? Excited.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Okay, so adjusting microphone. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for the listeners. In Adams, Tennessee, this is where they start. So they had the scariest intro. They used so many scary clips that very much looked like the demonic girl in The Exorcist. It was just a lot.
Like, that's like,
a lot.
like that was like one of the things that I hated about Ghost Adventures sometimes. It's like sometimes they're like
The cutscene.
I was like, I can't look at this
Their
dude.
cutscenes were so scary in this one, and I was just like, I don't want to be watching this with my headphones on right now. And it took me way too long because like this video was shorter than the other one, but I was like, the cutscenes are so much scarier.
Yeah, that's real.
So known online as America's greatest ghost story, as they said, and so John Bell's death is known to be the only death in America, at least, or in America, in the U.S.
There's only ever been one person die in America.
There's only one person ever
that's ever died from America.
From America. They died
In
of
America.
sickness.
In America.
So this is the only death to have been attributed to the supernatural recorded in the U.S. In 1817, which torture family takes life of one of them. And but the Sam and Colby are actually some of the first YouTubers to have any access, or no, not even one of the first YouTubers to have access to going on there, talking to the people, interviewing them, filming, doing like full out investigations while they're there. And the only people who have been able to do it before them were Ghost Adventures.
Bruh, wait,
Yeah,
kind of
so
like,
literally only our faves.
kind of proud of them.
Yeah.
Like, that, like, honestly, like, says so much about how far they've come. Oh, that makes me so proud of them.
I love their stuff.
You know, just like, now this is just so heartfelt. Like, now I'm just like, wow, I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, this entire, pretty much everything we post at this point, dedicated to Sam and Colby too.
For real, like, I love them.
So this is the story as told by Sam and Colby. So, of course, this is the first case that was involved with death caused by the supernatural, witches were thought to be any entities at that point. So like anything spiritual or anything that was not specifically standard. Obviously, we knew that gay equals being a witch too, but like just quite literally anything.
Yeah.
So spirits, they were like witch, ominous pumpkin, witch, misshapen fruit, witch. Oh, yes. So it was known to scratch people, levitate the children, and obviously to have continuously poisoned the father until he died. In 1804, John Bell took the wife and kids to Adams initially, and that's when the strange stuff started happening. This is when he was hunting and he saw the dog-like animal with the head of a rabbit, and he noticed more paranormal shit. since then. So the family started hearing the repetitive knocks throughout the house, inside of the walls, under the floors, from the ceiling. That giant bird on the fence, as he tried to shoot at it, disappeared. Sounds of rats in the walls scampering and scratching on the wood, but it sounded like there was like a full infestation covering like all of the walls.
Absolutely.
We get into their investigation. Colby gets nervous and constantly queasy throughout, but this is just like they walk into the cabin to start off, and it's just, I don't know, they just did like kind of a cold open in terms of their investigation. They didn't even give a precursor, they just started.
Yeah.
So they go into that cabin, and it reminds them of the first time they heard knocks in person without the equipment there in, was it the Queen Mary? Somewhere. And they begin the investigation without equipment. I think it was the Queen Mary. But they begin the investigation without equipment because they wanted to hear and see if there was knocks before they used their equipment otherwise. Mm-hmm. So along with them, they have Josh at Exploring with Josh and Seth at It's Seth Borden.
Okay. Yes.
Josh, blonde, short hair, sweaters type guy. Other one is like brown, longer hair with mustache, and he looks like a skinny guy that likes to listen to metal.
They've done other videos with them.
Yeah. I was like, I hope that you can visualize these people because you're more familiar with them than I am. Mm-hmm. So Seth was like, I want some quiet game moments. So they close the door and knock to start asking for a response. Like they close the door in on themselves. Mm-hmm. Oh, they also turn off all the lights. Colby starts shaking while he's lighting the candle just because he's very nervous. And starting with knocks in a completely dark room with only one candle in the center of the table, like in the middle of the room. And it looks like a really, really, really old cabin.
Yeah.
Like it's like the walls are wood, unfinished, kind of like wood. Or not unfinished, but like it's just raw wood instead of having like stuff on the walls or like flat walls, anything like that. And it starts getting really intense pretty immediately. They ask, if the Bell Witch is here, please knock and respond. We are the first investigators here in a long time, and there was no response. And they ask, was there a knock right before you tapped? And then they heard a knock in response.
Oh my god.
In the room. And you could hear it too. You could hear it on the camera audio as well. So they ask her to repeat the noise, and Colby knocks on the table, and above them, from the ceiling, they start to hear knocks as a response. And they ask if that was the Bell Witch, and they ask for a repeat. And instead of a normal knock, they hear like a really big thump somewhere else in the house, as if it was like something that was like intentionally stomping to make a loud knock.
I don't like that.
And they say, okay, if it's the witch, we want to make sure, like, do that again. And they hear it again, but somewhere else in the house. Mm-hmm. So, and they were like, oh my god, this is going to make history. And they get interrupted by another knock. And Sam asks if that was Colby, and it was very much so not. So they ask, are you the only entity that haunts these grounds? One knock for yes, multiple for no. They get one knock. And they hear calls in the distance, like outside of the house. They hear voices calling. And they hear a single knock inside the house. Like, it was like behind them. Uh-huh. And they said, is it possible for you to be in more than one place at a time? And there was like another of those like deep stomps in the house.
I hate that.
And they said, that's a yes. And then they got another one of those stomps in another part of the house. And they started to say, it feels like time isn't moving. And they hear and feel sprinting footsteps in the room with them behind Sam while he's feeling. And you can hear it on the camera a little too.
I feel like I started watching this video and then I couldn't finish it.
I don't know how I finished it. I don't know how I'm still talking about it like at this time.
No, for real. If I see the thumbnail, I feel like I might have watched this one. I feel like, or like I might have started watching it, or you know what, I might have watched, because it's, oh god.
So sorry to be reminding you of it. So their segment is, this next segment that they have is they titled it "Who Was the Bell Witch?" So she was a trickster entity. When people asked who it would lie. So often it would say that it was a disturbed indigenous spirit, or that it was their neighbor, like their deceased neighbor from years and years ago. And it responds often to Kate. And the historic Bell... Ooh, they also start talking to the new owner, Candy Hooten. So
Candy.
it took within the first week of owning the place, people were already starting to experience things. They had like the old dial phones that you would twist in the house, and they left at one point, and they came back inside, and the dial phone was hanging from the table where it was like placed down on, and it was swinging as if something had just taken it off and did that.
Brandon. Oh my god.
It's okay. We only have like 18 more pages.
Only. Okay. Get reading, bitch.
So the family used to experience kids levitating from their beds, like we said.
Okay.
And a lot of people came to like sleep over, try it, see if it would happen to them. It did. Andrew Jackson, yes, only lasted one night when he went, and their wagon stopped working when they pulled in. Weirdly enough, similar things kind of happened to Sam and Colby when they pulled in, like as they were pulling in with a new, very nice rental car that they got. The engine check light started going off as soon as they got closer to the property.
That's crazy, actually.
And Andrew Jackson said that he would rather take on the British Army again than stay another night.
Dude, I'm right there with him. I'm right there with him.
That's better than fighting with a bunch of British people.
Like, I feel like I would agree with him on that.
No, I definitely get him.
Like, now I never want to step foot in Tennessee, so...
Tennessee seems pretty ominous, but their living costs? Wonderful. Anyways.
Wonderful, but they're anti-trans, boo.
Oh, yes. Someone was skeptical. Oh, yeah, no, obviously they're Boo. I didn't mean to, like, overlook that. I was just looking and reading this at the same time. Oh.
No, you're literally okay.
Boo. Literally boo. Exactly. Okay. But a skeptic that was with Andrew Jackson at the time said that it was fake. And he was like, haha. Like, this isn't real. And he was thrown down to the ground and beaten badly, like pummeled by an invisible force.
It's like that one episode of SpongeBob where that happens to Patrick. Pretty
much. It's rough out there.
Damn.
So Ray, a former tour guide, before he even begins, they start hearing knocks in the room around them again. And the more that people come through, it was said that the more that people come through, the more the entity becomes stronger. So it becomes stronger if you manifest it and will it into existence. And the knocks eventually, like the knocks at the house initially, once people started moving, the people moved in, they became whispers, and then they became disembodied voices, and then they became the bed covers being ripped off, and then they became noises that were keeping the family awake all night.
Absolutely not.
And the Bell Witch was also stated to, well, it like as a disembodied voice communicated, like it came there to kill John. That's what its mission was.
So we're gonna fall asleep on FaceTime tonight, because absolutely not.
So they start the spirit box session in the attic.
Okay.
They don't even ask any questions to begin with. They turn it on and it starts speaking already. It just goes, "It has started. Hi, Sam."
Oh my god, stop.
And they ask, "Are you here with us?" And it says, "Secure."
Stop. Stop doing the voice.
Oh.
Stop doing the voice.
Josh hears whispering, like, in his ear quietly, just like unintelligible voices, and it sounds like a little girl.
That would make me rip my ears out. Dude, I'd grab some fucking pliers, pull my eardrums out of my ear.
And they ask, "Who just whispered in my ear?" And they also ask, "Why did you kill John Bell?" And it responds with, "I chose him."
For what?
And they said, have you left at all? No response. And Seth starts hearing knocking throughout the attic, just around him.
No.
And oh my god. Like in the audio of the camera, you start hearing animals like start to scream like
Stop.
around
That's
the cabin.
Stop. No. Fuck no.
And the spirit box, like while the animal starts, like the animal like is screaming outside, you hear it go, help.
Stop doing the voice. Stop doing the voice. Knock it off.
Well, I have to do something to differentiate the quotes for the listeners.
Just say quote.
But that ruins this quote. Okay. And there's just 2 more times I have to do the voice. Just and they ask, are we going to get hurt in the cave? And it says, no, walk there, go down there. And they say, give us a sign of where you are. And it just says, the woods.
I saw this. No, wait. I feel like... Is there a basement?
I don't think so.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of a different video.
But they do mention the woods because, like, the woods, I think I remember from the other videos that we've watched together, it's a recurring thing that has been mentioned.
That's true for them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. So we go back to Candy Hootin'. We're back to
Candy apples.
Candy kind of chill. So her mom has been attacked in the house, and they have pictures. I do have a picture.
I don't want to see it.
It's like 2 scratches on her cheek, and there's actually like it's actually like cut a little bit. Like there's like some like blood, and like the gashes go from like the nose to like here, like her chin, and then like there's the other one that's like under the like right at the peak of the cheekbone down next to the jaw.
Yeah.
And it's the scratch on her face. There's also some on the back of her head as well, but it wasn't easily photographed, so they didn't take pictures, or they didn't put them in the video at least. People experience being like touched in the cave. They feel things getting thrown at them, especially at the kids.
That's kind of funny.
You're like, no, maybe I vibe with this. This is a little scary.
Wait, hold
now.
on. Maybe we would be BFFs.
I'm just like, wait, hear her out for a second.
I might want to be your best friend.
No,
Hold
don't
on.
claim that.
You're right.
You're just like, oh wait, never mind, that's not a joke. Anyways, she was telling her account of the stories. Like Candy Hooten was telling her account of the stories, and it was actually it was just some stuff, and she was saying like, I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, and the camera just shut off.
Bro.
And then they turned the camera back on. They're like, hello? What just happened? We didn't even get the rest of that recording. Because, it didn't turn off. It just stopped recording. Like, so their gear started having malfunctions only exclusively on the property. And so we get into John Bell's death. He got older and weaker and told his son that he couldn't survive much longer in around 1820-ish. The doctors tried to help, but they kept on hearing the Bell Witch's voice around them when they would try to treat him. That's no use. I'm going to kill him.
You know what? She was on a mission, and I'm at least gonna give her that.
You know, at least she stuck to her word. Not that it's good that she's promising scary things, but like at the very least she's sticking to the plan.
Not a good thing to be like doing that, but I mean, at least you meant what you said, I guess.
Yeah, she has consistency. And on December 19th, he died after he slipped into a coma. The next morning, all of the medicine that was used for his treatments at the time seemed to disappear for some reason, and there was just a bottle of brown murky liquid, which they later discovered was the poison by killing the cat. And after the cat died, and they came back to like just see his body, they heard the Bell Witch say, "He will never get up. I fixed him. I fixed him."
What? What do you mean? Oh my god.
And now we get to the final cabin investigation. final not being the end of the video, final just being the final cabin investigation. So this is before the woods or the cave, like right before they want to go into there. So they take out the REM pod and the DR60 for the audio. REM pod, reminder for people, it goes off when, motion detector. So they ask, can you, with the DR60, they start doing the audio recording, and then they have the REM pod by them as well. And they hear, they ask, can you be in multiple places at once? And like in the audio, they hear, I can, when they play it back. And in the back of the audio, they also hear growls, and it sounds like a dog.
I don't like that. Stop. No. No, 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 no. No.
As they're listening, the REM pod goes off, and the one that the motion detector that goes off is pointing towards the door.
Stop. Nope.
And they ask, tell us your name, with the DR60, and they hear Kate in the recording. So they revisit some explaining topics. The Bell Witch could read minds, be in multiple places at once, recite Bible verses to people and preachers, and spoke with multiple voices at once, and was very, very strong and could like throw things or like hit and scratch without you seeing.
Guys, okay, chat, let me know if you guys are also terrified right now and like literally shitting bricks right now, because I'm fucking terrified.
So the investigation continues, and they're outside now, and I think they're prepping for the woods or the cave. So they brought a witch with them, Lindsay Gray. She kind of chill. She looks like she works at Hot Topic.
Okay, real.
Like, I like her. So she offers to do rituals to summon and communicate with the spirits. And she also was like, she put some respect on ancient Egypt, because she was just like, they were doing it before so many of us were doing it, so let's not forget about that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, real queendom.
Yes.
And then they were planning on doing a protection ritual in the massive cave. And so people think this is where it all began for the entity, and they also think this is where it stays, like just in this very deep cave by the cabin.
Yeah.
Which is horrifying, having like a cave entity that just like resides there to anyways. So Lindsay says that the cave is sort of like a train station for ghosts. It's more likely to be active with different sorts of spirits because of its placement and closeness to the earth.
Yeah.
The cave has become more active, according to the current owner, and is a hotspot for paranormal activity in the area, like even compared to the house, apparently, which we were getting quite a lot from the house. They did not like the screaming animals.
I don't like that. I actually hate that. So bad.
Yes. Visitors have taken small rocks and gotten cursed in different ways. So a tour guide says that no matter what, if you take a physical item, you will somehow be forced to return it in one way or another. This tour guide dude, Ray, found an arrowhead one day, and he wanted to take it. Just, he thought it was interesting. And he went to the hospital afterwards because the back of his heel started blistering out of nowhere, and he got septicemia, and the doctors nearly amputated his foot just the same day. People take rocks.
Okay. Okay. Guys, I'm scared.
This is a really rough one. People take rocks. When someone took a rock and they fell. Oh, and she fell and she broke her leg. And after she got all bandaged up at the hospital, she came back to the owner and she was just like, you know why I'm here. You can have this back. Like, she came back with her broken leg and was like, you know why I'm here. You can have this back.
Okay.
Dude, if someone came back after like being so severely injured after taking a rock home, I would just be like, you know what? You put it back. I'm not gonna touch that.
No, for real, I'm like,
it's like I get more than enough exposure working here.
No, for real.
The way that I would have shoes that I would leave in my car so that like if I were to work there, never, ever. But like somehow in some crazy alternate universe, if I did, the way that I would like have shoes for work, take them off and literally just leave them outside and have new different shoes in the car so then I could drive home so not even a rock goes with me.
No, that's so real.
at that point, like, I'll take an Uber so that my car doesn't even track a single rock or particle from anything in the property. Like, have a chain, like a hazmat bag for like a separate change of clothes that I use to change in the Uber while I'm there.
No, yeah.
So down in the cave, Lindsay feels like they're being watched immediately.
I hate that.
She points towards, because standard, there's like a gate in the cage that kind of looks like a jail cell, horrifying, but that's just like it's the way that they kind of seal the entrance so people don't come in and out. I hate it though, because it looks terrifying and it's wildly rusted.
Stop, don't do that, don't do that.
Sorry, I just got a notification.
Don't do that,
Sorry.
oh my god.
I turned my head a bunch and Ronnie got really scared because...
God, Brandon, actually...
Sorry, Ronnie got really scared. Okay. It was because I got a notification that my phone has low battery because that's it. I didn't mean to scare you, sorry.
Oh man, my heart's like racing. Okay.
Ooh, she pointed towards some of the cages. Not cages, like the door, I'll just call it a cage. The cage doors and the different corners further into the cave. And she said that that's where the feelings were coming from. Like, she could feel them being watched from there. So Seth, coincidentally, has a 17 tattoo. And the hauntings also began in 1817. And the number 17 is, like, it pretty much always shows up physically somewhere, wherever whenever he goes on an investigation with them.
That's so... I don't like that.
So now they want to turn off all of their lights and use one singular candle to light the way because they think that that's really fun. What the fuck? Except they only send Seth by himself to investigate with the one candle.
Bro.
So they didn't cast the protection spell before doing this. They just decided to send him in. Raw dog it. And he starts asking for the spirits. No response. I'm just water dripping in the cave further in. And he feels like he's being followed throughout the cave, though.
Okay.
That's it for what he experiences with that, though. So good, nothing too scary. For some reason, he's wearing Balenciaga throughout all of this. Why are you wearing Balenciaga for a paranormal investigation?
He said, look at me, though. Look at this money, though.
So they all go back in to reinvestigate, and they actually have their lights this time, and Lindsay starts to notice and feel a presence watch from further into the cave.
I don't like that.
So she decides to initiate the banishing ritual for safety measures. They all toss black salt over their shoulder, and she says to imagine white light while she rings a bell. And she starts walking around them and saging the area as well, and they all begin chanting spirit to spirit, ashes to ashes, banish this evil. And they say that 6-7 times. And after they complete the process, she says that she still feels the entity, but they do all feel some air of calm around them comparatively. They feel a lot less tension in the cave.
Yeah.
So right after the ritual, they start getting scared because they don't think that they performed the ritual properly. Anyways, they start to just chat about some other stuff. Betsy Bell was known as the haunted queen of the valley, or haunted witch queen of the valley. People have seen her swinging from the trees in the forest.
No, I don't like that.
So they go up to the stone that marks like that this is like an area related to Betsy Bell, and they hold up the EMF reader, and it immediately just starts going bonkers. Flashing green. And they take out the Envoy, which is a touch/EMF and temperature sensor, and it uses all of those to kind of like formulate communications. It's the one that has like little emojis on it.
Yeah.
Little emojis and sometimes little words. And also for yes and no answers. So
Yeah.
they ask, is there anything here that wants to talk to us? And do you like that we are here? And they get the response, yes, no, which is weird. And they ask, are you going to be upset if we explore the cave? And it says, no, yes, which is okay. And they're like, so they turn to the camera, they start talking about how the Bell Witch apparently has a history of being very contradictory. And then it responds as they're telling the camera, it just goes, yes, no. And I'm just like, oh.
I don't
And
like that.
they've never seen it give both answers like that to every single question that they ask.
I hate that.
And they
dude.
say, they ask, like, do you want us to leave? And it just goes, yes, no, again. And then it asked, and they asked, will you only say both at the same time? And they didn't get a response. Oh, no. I read that wrong. They also got yes, no to that.
Stop.
And they asked, choose an emotion. And so the emotions that came up with the little emojis that it can select, it went puzzled, confused, scared, and then it went scared again. And then it says, and they ask, we want to know your story and talk to you. And the EMF reader starts to like flash, and the envoy starts to say, it says scared again.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yes. Wait, no. No, the EMF reader goes crazy, and then it says scared, and it says sad. The envoy starts going crazy, and then it just goes yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, like over and over again.
Bro,
Just on repeat. And they start to hear like this shouting from deeper in the forest around them.
Dude,
And
I'm like gonna start crying.
And it sounds like a person is calling out, and the EMF reader is just going off as it starts to happen. And they hear it getting closer to them. And shapeshifters are known to be in the forest nearby.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
And they're really fucking weird because they decide, let's try to go back after this without a guide. That would be fun. So they just let the guide drive away, and they just look for their way back in the dark by themselves, just the four of them. And as they were walking, Colby's water bottle like flew out of his backpack, like
Bro,
from the water bottle holder. And it wasn't even just one of those water bottle holders that you just like put it in. You put it in, and there were like straps to secure the water bottle while the bottom was also in like the little like holder. And further than that, like after that, they saw like a bee at one point because the bee started flying at their lights for filming, and they started screaming and running. But
they're kind of real for that.
the worst part about that was that Colby's water bottle completely stayed inside of his backpack when that was happening.
Dude,
so
fuck that.
they
no.
and they weren't
No.
even close to trees either. They were on a wide, like clear trail. So like you couldn't have bumped into anything for that water bottle to get whacked out.
Stop.
But
God.
it didn't. It wasn't just because the water bottle was whacked out. He felt himself get like pushed
Dude,
while
no.
they were walking back.
No, and no.
So after the they go back to their like, you know, when they like sit and talk to the camera and give you more facts in between their like investigations. So after the murder of John Bell, she vowed to return after 7 years, and she spoke with John Bell Jr. and like later, 7 years later, and she stayed for 2 weeks, talked about the past, present, and future, predicted the Civil War, World War I, and World War II, and said that she was under instruction, discussed the meaning of life, talked about an apocalypse or the apocalypse, and then disappeared after 2 weeks and said that she was going to come back in 7 years.
Just keep going.
Okay, so they came back to the cave, and they only like to put themselves in the worst types of situations. They use red light only, and some candles. And they find a stone grave for what looks like someone that would be the size of a kid. Mm-hmm. The worst kind of scary thing. Kids.
Yeah.
As they set up equipment, it immediately starts going off. Ooh,
Dude,
this one it
no.
gets fucking rough. So they ask for an obvious
The fact
sign.
that there's more. The fact that it keeps going. Like, I'm actually... Okay.
It's okay.
This is
There's only 6
crazy.
pages left now.
Only 6.
Only 6. Okay, so they ask for an obvious sign, and the flashlights start flashing and blinking at them. And they ask, is any entity in here? And more of the flashlights continue to like go off in response to their questions, and they slow down as they stop, after they respond. Ugh. And they ask, are you the male energy? And all of the flashlights start going off.
Yeah.
And they ask, do you want us here? And it flashes again. They ask, is the Bell Witch still here? If you just want us to leave, and then the lights start going off as soon as they start to, do you want us to leave?
Bro.
and they were like, yo, dude, maybe, like, this is me, like, quoting them. Like, they're like, yo, dude, maybe she never left. And all of the lights just start like crazy. And all of their other, like, the EMF reader starts going off, and like all of their other detectors start going off for it too. And this is the worst. They're like, let's bring her in here, bring the witch in here. And I'm like, no. I was like so upset when they did that. And the music box started going off, and they placed the music box right at the entrance of a smaller cavern that was like way deeper and way bigger and further into the cave. Like, they put it right at the entrance of that, and the music box started going off.
It kind of pissed me off.
And so they were like, the witch must be in here now with us, because the thing started going off. And I shit you not, like, pretty much every single piece of their equipment starts going off as loud as it possibly can.
Absolutely
and like
not.
all of the lights were flashing. More than one music box was going off at the same time.
Not.
It was
Absolutely
like
not.
it was like a symphony of sounds. It was so loud.
I hate that.
Like, everything is flashing, and more of the other flashlights that hadn't turned on before, they turn on, and they ask her to step away from the music box, and well, the flashlights stop again, and they ask her to step away from the music box because it continues throughout this whole time, and the flashlights start blinking, and the music box continues. It just never goes off.
Stop.
And they start to hear like unintelligible whispers just around them within the cave, especially in the spots with less light.
Oh my god. Stop.
So they now decide that it's time for them to split off into groups to take Polaroids in the cave, just because they want to see if the Polaroids will bring up anything different, because film sometimes allows to see things that other cameras might not be able to see. So Colby starts hearing breathing around him by his ears.
Oh my god, stop. Literally not.
And it's crazy. They start hearing rocks like turning and tumbling around them, and it's not just like cave sounds. Like, they were fully just completely still, and then like it sounded like someone was like throwing rocks, like pebbles, so then you could hear the rock like landing. Like, it sounded like it was like
no, I can imagine. Just, you don't have to go into it. I can imagine.
and they hear more of the rocks start like shifting as if someone was moving them like nearby. Colby also, like, the breathing starts to progress into raspy breathing, like around his ears. And every time that Sam tries to take pictures of Colby with a Polaroid, well, the first 2 times that Sam tries to take pictures of Colby, the Polaroid jams and doesn't work. But when they turn it away and they just try to take a picture of a rock, it works.
Dude, fuck that. Stop it.
Yeah, and like the second time, for the second picture, Colby invited the witch to be in that picture with him, and it jammed, like, again in that time.
Yeah.
So Sam does the same, or like Colby is taking a picture of Sam, and he feels a chill, and the picture does turn out. Like, they actually are able to take the picture, and Sam starts to feel really, really, really horrible, and he starts feeling things touching the back of his neck. And they finally get one picture of Colby, and they come outside of the cave. They look at the pictures. There's random like vertical dots in Colby's picture that just should not be there. Like, that just does not make sense in terms of like the area that they were in. Like, there was nothing that would be like reflecting, and if it was maybe like water or condensation or something, like, they shouldn't be in a perfectly vertical line.
Yeah. So
And the other pictures, like, they just fully didn't work. It's not even that they were black pictures. Like, you know how sometimes when like the film is a dud in Polaroid cameras, like, it'll just come out black.
Or you just get the lighting wrong sometimes.
Yeah, or just the lighting wrong. But like, it wasn't even just fully black, because like, it was really dark in there. So like, sometimes I would expect it to be fully black if it's like there's just not enough light to get good pictures, you know. But there were like strange like splotches of like yellow with like this like slightly rust color in them too, like throughout those like images that like came out.
Zuzu, I'm like so scared right now. Like, I like.
It's okay. We're getting to it. So Seth and Josh go in. Seth and Josh start hearing voices in the cave, like as soon as they enter. They just hear whispers and cries around them. And they hear a girl talking, like they can't understand what she's saying, but they can hear her talking like further into the cave. They take pictures of each other and point it to the cave where they hear the girls' voices, like that cavern. And they start hearing claps from inside of the cave, like just like
Stop.
and then and a whistle. You're lucky I can't whistle.
I was gonna say, you don't need to give examples. I know. I can imagine.
So and that was their entire investigation. They didn't really get too much from their pictures. It's just like they heard more than they were able to get pictures of anything, which sucks. So they take out they go back, they come back together. Now they're gonna do another REM pod like investigation. They talk about how she repeats Bible verses and it starts going off immediately. When they talk about the Bible verse, it starts going off even more. They mention Mark 5:9 and it starts going off for 5 seconds consistently, just
Stop.
flashing.
No.
And they ask if the bell wants to be read verses, and the REM pod goes off like crazy.
Bro, literally knock it off.
Like, why does it have this like weird fetishizy like interest in Bible verses? That worries me to my core.
I don't like this. Okay, keep going.
They add the ovilus, which is the one that forms words based off of residual energy frequencies.
Yeah.
And it uses like the phonics.
It's getting bad. You know, it's getting bad when I'm like, I forget that like obviously my voice is lower, so like my voice is low-key scaring me.
Why is your voice scary? You're just like, who is that? Who's talking right now? You're just like, that's not my voice.
I'm like, oh, I'm scared, guys.
You're like raising your voice.
Raising your voice to make a scary thing in them.
No, for real, because I'm like, that's like literally helping me stay sane.
Okay. So, the EMF reader starts going off like crazy. As soon as they turn on and start using the ovilus. And immediately, as they turn it on, they don't even have to ask us questions. It just starts saying things. It just goes, planet, certain, move, single, decompose, 666.
Stop. Again, you know, we don't really... Guys, who else thinks the voices are scary, guys? Who else is, like, shivering in their
Who else
boots right
doesn't
now?
want me to do my voices when I read the things? I just need to use separation.
Look, okay.
And then they also
You
get...
got
they-
terrified.
They also get funeral, around, surface, kill, 3, good, stay.
They're a stay? They listen to Stray Kids?
They're a stay? Oh.
Yo! Lit.
Okay. Okay, maybe because I'm a stay, this bitch won't bother me.
For real. Like, who's your bias?
Who's your bias? You know? Never mind, I won't initiate conversation with you, but I hope you have a bias. And I hope you leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Please. Like, actually, leave
Please.
them alone.
They ask if she truly killed John Bell, and the response was hidden, rule, reservation, and also 20, which is like in reference to 1920. Oh, it was in reference to 1920. I mean 1820 when he died.
Oh, I was actually just gonna say that she's a K-pop
Which was the
fan.
inspiration for the song by ITZY.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they ask, why did you poison John? And it responds, President. Okay. Got really political really quick.
Maybe because she
just
saw in
shoulder
his
the microphone.
Maybe she saw in the future that he would run for president. She didn't want that.
Maybe. And they ask, did you do this for fame? And in response, they get beast.
Mode.
Why did you kill John Bell? And they get the response, cold. And they feel the temperature start to drop.
I don't like
around
that.
them.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
And they say, if you plan to do what you did to John Bell to more people, give us a sign that's clear and obvious. And the response was, after trip. Like, after their trip, she'll show them.
Dude, no.
And then they also get race, sift, plan. And they ask,
Dude,
do you plan to come back? And they get messenger. So they start speculating that this might be maybe a messenger for the Bell Witch. And they ask, do you know the plan of the Bell Witch? With a response, 9. And moved. And they ask, do you want us to leave? And they start hearing voices around them. Like, not from any of their devices. They just start hearing voices around them. And then the thing just starts saying presidents. Okay.
Okay.
She's a little more political than I thought.
Yeah.
Are you going to hurt more people again? They ask. And the obelisk responds, soon. And they ask, are you going to come back for bad intentions? And the response was sacrifice.
Stop it, dude. Dude, stop. Literally, oh my god, no. Okay.
And so they decide they're going to just walk out of the cave. They all walk out of the cave then. And Colby noticed something on Sam's neck. So they turn the camera to it, and there is indeed scratches on the back of his neck, and it looks like someone like took their finger and like scratched the back of his neck.
Stop. I hate that.
No blood,
Dude, no.
luckily, but it was very apparent red marks. That was like you know when someone in like elementary school would like scratch you too hard and like the bumps would appear.
That was
or like
me.
your dog scratches you.
I would accidentally scratch people all the time.
Yeah, and like your dog will like scratch you or something, and then like the bumps appear. It was like that on the back of his neck.
Oh my god, my school had to like put in a thing that we have to keep our nails a certain length because of me, because I would grow my nails.
Bitch.
They were healthy though. These bitches were just haters.
Yeah, but to be safe, they wanted to do the banishing ritual again, and that's what we're left with.
Oh my god, thank god.
You were so worried that there was gonna be more.
Dude, like, it just getting worse. I'm like fucking freaking out right now.
No, this one was horrifying. This one was rough.
This one was rough. Okay, next week we're gonna do a little bit of a lighthearted one, guys. I say that as if I picked the topics. No, yeah, I was gonna say let's do some true crime instead of.
As if that would be much lighter, though. Because
yeah,
the worst thing about true crime is that it's confirmed.
Yeah, the thing about this, so it's like I don't even like talking about it.
Yeah, like there were so many times we were just like, should we have made this?
No, yeah. Do you think? Notice how I'm being very vague in my answers? Because bitch, I'm scared.
You're like not gonna mention this. Doesn't exist.
Not gonna say it. So can't pay me to. So
what do you think? Otherwise, did you like it? Was it interesting?
It was interesting, but I'm fucking scared. Like I'm literally fucking scared.
You're not gonna be able to go to sleep,
dude. Actually, probably not.
We can watch some funny videos or something.
Yeah, we're gonna watch
keep you up,
videos.
But we can watch something funny to like.
We need to be brought. I need to be brought down to earth.
Yes. But on that note, I will leave you with my social media handles. I usually go by @Brandon._.amor. That's @BRANDON._.AMOR on pretty much all of my platforms. So that would be like TikTok, Instagram, and then on YouTube for being able to watch rambling about things I read on Reddit. You can find this by looking up rambling about things I read on Reddit, RATIROR, or Brandon Moore on YouTube, and then you can get all that. What about you, Ronni?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, @RonnieGranados, RONNIGRANADOS, or you can follow me on TikTok at Ronnie Red, RONNIIRED. Yeah.
That's it for your handles? Okay, all right, guys. That's all we have time for today on the Bell Witch Cave. We hope you enjoyed hearing about this spooky Tennessee legend, and if you're looking for more, we recommend checking out our fave paranormal YouTubers, Sam and Colby, who investigated for us today, because we would never go there. So thank you to them for documenting it for us, so we didn't have to.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on the Bell Witch. Do you think it was a real entity, or do you think it was a hoax? And let us know in the comments, or leave us a review, please. And also, please rate us on Spotify. We would love to have some ratings. We also we're very thankful for your viewership and would like to know what you think of the podcast so we can work on making it the best we can for you. And thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all next time. You guys. Love you guys. Literally love you guys. Awesome and amazing. Sending hearts and balloons. For those who can't see, we have hearts and balloons. We have hearts, balloons. We have confetti. We have double thumbs up. We have lasers. And yeah. So thanks for showing up for us. We'll do our best to continue showing up for you. And we love you. And we'll see you next week. Bye. 'Cause you're lying around and all you seem to do is frown.